Okay, so picture this. You're at the top of a mountain,
Yeah.
fresh powder beneath your skis, and you know that crisp blue sky above.
Yeah.
You get that feeling right before you make that first descent. It's like exhilarating,
Yeah,
almost spiritual, right?
it is.
And it makes me think, in a way, isn't that what we all kind of search for in life, our own path, even when it means diverging from the crowd a little bit?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we're going to dive into today with Jonathan Kaye's memoir, En route to the Sunrise Saloon. We're looking specifically at the chapter, Carve Your Own Path.
Right.
We'll see how, like a wild ski trip during Kaye's youth when he was younger, became like this big lesson in trusting his instincts and just staying true to himself.
Yeah. You know what makes this chapter so compelling is how Kaye just transports us back to 1973.
Okay,
He's a teenager. He's on a ski trip to Park City, Utah with all his buddies.
nice.
Just picture, the 70s vibes, the excitement, that pure sense of adventure.
I love it.
They're at the Olympic Ski Team Training Center, which is like halfway up the mountain. A haven for skiers with nothing but fresh powder and, mountain air.
That sounds pretty idyllic. But then comes the beer run. I'm reading here 30 cases each of Coors and D Olympia.
Whoa.
I mean, were they planning on building a beer pyramid?
Well, it certainly speaks to a certain, youthful exuberance.
It does.
But remember, this sets the stage for the choices that Jonathan ends up making later in the story.
Okay.
So while his friends are diving headfirst into this, epic beer-fueled party, Jonathan catches a radio announcement about, an impending snowfall.
No,
And for him, the call of fresh powder just totally outweighs the allure of the party.
makes sense.
This is like a pivotal moment where we see him prioritize what he's really passionate about, even if it means, breaking away from the group a little bit.
So while everyone else is like caught up in the revelry, Jonathan's like, I'm going to get some sleep.
Exactly.
It's like a pretty wise decision in hindsight.
Indeed it was. He wakes up at dawn to this just breathtaking sight. 15 inches of untouched powder.
Oh, wow.
A skier's dream.
I can imagine.
That moment of solitude, the pristine beauty, the joy of just carving through fresh snow, it becomes this touchstone for Jonathan, a memory that he carries with him and like a symbol of what's possible when you just follow your own instincts.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. That sense of serenity amidst the untouched beauty. It's something I think we all kind of long for in some way,
It highlights something really crucial about carving your own path. Sometimes it involves, seeking out those moments of introspection,
Yep.
creating space for yourself to reconnect with what truly matters, even amidst, the excitement of a group experience.
I get that.
Yeah.
But I'm also thinking, wasn't there a risk that he'd miss out on the fun with his friends?
Sure.
Isn't there a value in those shared experiences too?
Absolutely. There's definitely a balance to be found.
Yeah.
However, in this instance, Jonathan's choice really allowed him to tap into something deeply personal.
Right.
It's a reminder that while shared experiences are valuable, there's also a profound reward in, connecting with your individual passions.
Yeah, for sure. And it's interesting how that moment of solitude, him being out there on his own contrasts so sharply with what's unfolding back at the training center,
Yeah.
things seem to be kind of spiraling out of control with his friends.
Right. Enter a busload of teenage girls and suddenly the whole scene shifts. Testosterone, alcohol, and bad decisions create this kind of volatile mix, culminating in Jack, one of Jonathan's friends, going on this destructive rampage in the bathroom.
Okay. Maybe the beer pyramid wasn't such a good idea after all.
This episode really highlights the potential consequences of unchecked impulses.
Yeah.
While Jonathan's, seeking solace in the quiet beauty of the mountain, his friends' actions are leading to chaos and destruction.
Yeah, it's a good contrast.
It underscores the importance of self-awareness and the impact our choices have, not just on ourselves, but, on those around us as well.
And sadly for Jonathan, despite choosing a different path, he still ends up caught in the fallout.
Yes. At 3 a.m., the Utah State Police show up. They're kicking everyone out of the training center.
Oh, no.
The trip ends abruptly, and they're forced to walk down the mountain in the middle of the night, seeking shelter wherever they can find it.
That's terrible.
It's a harsh reminder that even when you try to do the right thing, you can still be affected by the actions of others.
That must have been incredibly frustrating for Jonathan, especially after experiencing such a rewarding morning on the slopes.
Yeah. Imagine that feeling. The disappointment of having your trip cut short, the sense of injustice at being penalized for something you didn't even do.
Yeah.
But here's where Jonathan's story takes another interesting turn. Instead of dwelling on the negative, he focuses on the positive.
Okay.
The memory of that solo ski run the feeling of freedom and joy. It becomes a source of strength for him.
It makes you wonder if he hadn't made that choice to break away from the group. Would that memory have held the same significance?
That's a great question. It raises the possibility that sometimes, even in the face of adversity,
Yeah.
those moments of self-discovery, of forging your own path, can become even more powerful. They serve as a reminder that even when things go wrong, there's still beauty to be found if you know where to look.
That's a powerful message. And it makes me think about all those times, where I felt pressure to conform, to go along with the crowd, even when it didn't feel right.
It's a common experience.
It is.
But Jonathan's story reminds us that there's real strength in authenticity.
Yeah.
In listening to that inner voice that guides us towards what truly resonates, even if it means taking the road less traveled.
And sometimes those roads lead to the most incredible experiences.
Just like that pristine powder day in Park City.
Exactly.
And with that, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive into Jonathan Kaye's Carve Your Own Path.
Yeah, this has been great.
It's been an insightful exploration of self-discovery and resilience and the power of trusting our instincts.
I couldn't agree more. And as we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought. Don't be afraid to, blaze your own trail.
Yeah.
Even if it means veering off the well-worn path. Embrace the uncertainty. Trust your gut. And most importantly, enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Because the most rewarding journeys are often the ones we create for ourselves.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning,
Yeah.
and keep carving your own path.